Good morning students. So we already know what is a free body diagram. So free body diagram is the indication of different forces acting on the object. This free body diagram will help us to calculate the net force. So today in this video we are going to learn how to calculate the net force. Before going to the calculation, we will try to know what is net force. So net force is the total force acting on the object. The sum of the forces which are acting on the object, that is called as net force. So through an example we will try to understand and try to calculate the net force acting on that object. Here I have taken a car, a moving car which is moving in the right direction. So before calculating the net force, first we have to draw the free body diagram. That means we have to draw all the forces which are acting on the, indicate all the forces which are acting on the object. So this is the car, moving car. First we have to indicate all the forces which are acting on this car. So as the car is moving because of the force applied, so this is the right direction in which the car is moving. So this is force applied. And opposite to the force applied is the frictional force. So this is the direction of the frictional force. Gravitational force will be acting on this car, so the gravitational force is in the downward direction. And the normal force which is acting in the upward direction. And also here when you are calculating the net force, you need to know the signs. Now if an object is moving in right direction, it is taken as plus, and if it is moving in the left direction, it is taken as minus. If it is moving in upward direction, it is taken as plus. And if it is moving in downward direction, it is taken as minus. These plus and minus only indicate the direction. It is not the value. Now here, so car, we will take on x-axis. What are the forces which are acting on the x-axis? Force applied and frictional force in the opposite direction. Force applied is taken as F, frictional force is taken as small f. Now what is the total sum of force? That means sum is force applied plus frictional force. As frictional force is moving in the opposite direction, it is taken as minus F. So what is the total force on the x-axis? It is frictional force applied minus frictional force. Now on y-axis, what are the forces which are acting on y-axis? Gravitational force in the downward direction and normal force in the upward direction. So gravitational force is G and normal force is N. What is the total force? The net force is the sum of normal force and gravitational force. As both are moving in the opposite direction, it is N minus G. So here we will see few problems. Now this is for example, this is the object. Two forces, 8 newtons and 10 newtons. These two forces are acting on this object in one direction and 12 newtons is acting in the opposite direction. So as these two forces are acting in the same direction, you have to add the forces. So 8 newtons plus 10 newtons is 18 newtons. And here you can see 12 newtons is acting in the opposite direction. So here you have to take the difference. Net force is 18 newtons minus 12 newtons and the net force is 6 newtons. That means here this object, the net force 6 newtons, this object is moving in the right direction. Because you can see the force which is applied on this side is more than the other side. Now we see another example. Here this is an object where two equal forces are acting on both sides. So what is the net force? Here opposite direction. The two equal forces are acting in the opposite direction. So here the net force is 0. Now here if you see another example, this is the object. 9 newtons is acting in the upward direction. 8 newtons is acting in the downward direction. So what is the net force? The difference of these two forces. 9 newtons minus 8 newtons. That is equal to 1 newton. Why are you taking the difference? Because net force is actually the total sum of the forces. But as they are going in the opposite directions, here you have to take the minus of this value. So the net force is equal to 1 newtons. In this way, the total sum acting on the object is taken as net force. With the help of the free body diagram, we will indicate the different forces acting on that object, and then it will be easy for us to calculate the net force. Thank you.